is quite an incredible thing, and I want to acknowledge that the hard work that you and your staff does. I've seen it up close and personal. I've benefited from it many years after the fact of my own imprisonment, and I think it's a really important office that deserves the resources and respect of the government and taxpayers alike. Talk about the role of diplomacy in all of this. German Chancellor Scholz said, "For you, I will do this," to President Biden. How did diplomacy and some of these dynamics between leaders of various countries factor into the success of this deal? And what role do those individuals that you talked about in the NGO community, maybe people at a law firm or a public relations firm or a journalist, what's their role in helping to connect these dots?
Yeah, so diplomacy played a huge role, and obviously, since we're pulling in so many different countries. And I think as President Biden says, and Secretary Blinken have said, it's these relationships that we have been just building by, painstakingly, step by step, that really played off during this return. I mean, the relationship between the president and Prime Minister Scholz was critical. I think that personal relationship, as well as the bilateral relationship, was absolutely key to getting this done. I think the work that we've done with countries like Poland and Norway and Slovenia and Turkey were also important. Some of it's just the standard bilateral things that we do, but I'd also say there's been an emphasis in this administration on trying to really strengthen the connective tissue that goes between these countries and ours, and also the multilateral organizations and institutions that bring all these countries together. So diplomacy played a huge role. What was a little bit different and interesting to me is that I would say the intelligence agencies of our country played an outsized role in getting this job done. There are a lot of unsung heroes that really played a big part in trying to bring this deal together. And additionally, the White House played a very strong role. The National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan, and his team were instrumental, especially as we went down the remaining months before this deal, to tightening up those loose springs that might be there and making sure that everyone was on board with how we were going to get this done. Complicated problem, a lot of moving parts, lots of players, and it took a full frontal assault, basically, from the White House, the intelligence agencies, the Department of State, and others, to ensure that it was all working together. But this could not have been, we could have not have done this alone. You and I have always talked about this, that bringing people home is a team sport. You can't care about who comes up with a plan, who comes up with the negotiation, or who gets the credit. You all just have to keep working, rowing in the right direction, pushing towards that final result.